Welcome to BOJTV's Trending News. For top stories in local, regional and international news, along with sports and local weather forecast, I'm Carla. Coming up in our local trending news, names of former Energy Minister and former Education Minister removed from Wall of Fame at the Caribbean Maritime University. Man arrested in connection with illegal firearm seizure and ammunition in Manchester. Elderly woman and 3-year-old infant perishes in St. Elizabeth fire. And female farmers rule, and ganja makes its debut at Denby. Now the details. The Caribbean Maritime Institute have been issued orders by the University Council of Jamaica to remove the names of former Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley and former Education Minister Ruel Reid from the newly erected Wall of Fame. On Saturday, the University Council of Jamaica indicated that all tiles inscribed with the names of persons who had contributed to the establishment of the FESTA authorized and certified training center FACT at the CMU, including those with former energy and education ministers, are to be removed from the Wall of Fame until further notice. The University Council of Jamaica's instructions for the tiles to be removed from the Wall of Fame came a day after several parents expressed their concerns over the names of both former ministers being engraved on the Wall of Fame, which is mounted at the newly constructed Petrocarib building FACT Center for Mechatronics and Automation. Detectives attached to the Manchester Criminal Investigation Branch say they have now arrested and charged a man in connection with the seizure of a .38 revolver and 12 live rounds of ammunition during an operation carried out on Green Street in Knockpatrick, Manchester yesterday. Reports by the Newport Police are that about 6:45 a.m. a team of officers carried out an operation at a premises in the area when a house occupied by the accused was searched. The search resulted in the seizure of the weapon, and the accused was subsequently arrested. The police in the parish of St. Elizabeth are probing the circumstances surrounding the death of an elderly woman and an infant who both burned to death at their home in Santa Cruz on Saturday. There are 64 years old Terry Heath and 3-year-old Shaquan Ennis. Reports by the Santa Cruz police are that about 5:15 p.m. the elderly woman and the child were at their dwelling when it caught fire. Residents in the community summoned the police and the Santa Cruz Fire Department, and upon their arrival, the blaze was extinguished. Following a search of the burnt rubbles, the charred remains of the infant and the elderly woman were found. Michelle Black, the owner of the Golden Ditch Farm in St. Anne, walked away with the title of a champion farmer yesterday at the 67th staging of the Denby Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show. Black has been a farmer for approximately 9 years and plans to continue to dominate in the field. She grows sweet peppers, yam, lettuce and kale, among many other produce, and supplies hotels and major supermarkets across the island. According to Black, she is particularly grateful to the Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA, as it has been a huge help to her during the drought periods. In the meantime, another female walked away with another of the major titles up for grabs at the opening day of the show. A 28-year-old Deandra Rowe, owner of Abbey Garden Farm in Manchester, was crowned Young Champion Farmer of 2019. She stated that she was grateful that her hard work in the farming industry has not gone unnoticed, and she's extremely happy about the win. Meanwhile, ganja also made its formal debut at Denby at Itopia Life Limited, partner with the St. Anne division of RADA for a thought-provoking presentation on ganja is Jamaica's most precious crop. Denby traditionally features livestock, ornamental plants and food crops, but since the decriminalization of ganja in 2015, a number of licensed cannabis producers, including Itopia Life, have made St. Anne their home. This led to both entities creating an out-of-the-box exhibit to help change the narrative around ganja's role in Jamaica's national economic development plans. Some 2,500 young people drawn from various communities across the corporate area in St. Catherine will perform at tomorrow's Independence Grand Gala, scheduled to take place at the National Arena. This is a culmination of Jamaica's 57th Emancipation and Independence celebrations. The annual cultural showcase will feature presentations in drama, music, song and dance by costume and uniform groups alongside popular local artists. During the event, Rita Marley and Sizzla Kalonji will be honored for their contribution to the development of Jamaica's music industry. According to Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Olivia Babs-Grange, the show will display the cultural diversity that is reflective of the Jamaican motto, "Out of many, one people," as well as our theme for the Emancipation and Independence celebrations, "One Nation, One People." Ms. Grange noted that the performers, who were trained over a 3-week period, were selected from 13 communities. She said there are plans to increase the number of costumed groups for future events. In the meantime, Director of Production and Events at the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, Gregory Sims, is reminding patrons that no weapons will be allowed inside the National Stadium for the staging of the Grand Gala. He said that no bottles or umbrellas with shafts will be permitted, and the police will be vigilant in enforcing the rules in order to ensure everyone's safety. Mr. Sims has encouraged persons to get to the stadium early for the event. Gates will open at 3 p.m. to facilitate a prompt 6 p.m. start. He also invited Jamaicans to participate in this year's festival fashion under the theme Roots and Culture by wearing outfits inspired by their cultural heritage and share their experience on social media. Put on your African clothes, put on your Chinese and Indian clothes, your sari. Represent your heritage and roots and culture. Those were your top stories making local trending news. Now join us for news from across the region, as well as our international stories, sports and local weather forecast. From across the region, High Court judge has offered a Jamaican man charged with possession of more than 30 pounds of marijuana, EC $20,000 is US $7,400 bail, after the Serious Offences Court had earlier denied his application for bail. Justice Brian Cottle granted a bail to accused Novian Travis Vaughan Mullins, charged with possession of 13,995 grams, as 30.85 pounds of cannabis with intent to supply. Mullins had pleaded not guilty also to the charge attempting to export the drug. The prosecution alleges that he had the drug in his suitcase while attempting to board a flight to Barbados at the Argyle International Airport on the night of July 28. Chief Magistrate Richard Brown at the Serious Offences Court last Monday denied him bail after the prosecutor, a Crown Counsel Tamika Mackenzie, objected, arguing that Mullins was a non-national with no significant ties to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But in granting bail, Justice Cuttle ordered that Mullins surrender his travel documents and report to the police station. In international news, the United States was mourning on Sunday for victims of 2 mass shootings that killed 29 people in less than 24 hours, as debate raged over whether President Donald Trump's rhetoric was partly to blame for surging gun violence. The rampages turned innocent snippets of everyday life into nightmares of bloodshed. 20 people shot to dead while shopping at a crowded Walmart in El Paso, Texas on Saturday morning, and 9 more outside a bar in a popular nightlife district in Dayton, Ohio, just 13 hours later. In Texas, another 26 people were wounded and 27 in Ohio. In Dayton, the shooter, armed with a long gun, was killed by police in less than a minute. They just happened to be nearby and prevented a casualty toll that could have been many times greater, local officials said. Still, in those few seconds, the shooter managed to mow down dozens of people. You could see the bodies actually start to fall, and we knew it was bigger than just even a shootout, Anthony Reynolds, who was outside the Dayton bar when the shooting started, told NBC. Reynolds described the shooter as a white man dressed in full black with his face covered and armed with an assault rifle. Police later named the gunman as 24-year-old white man called Connor Betts and said that his sister was among those killed. In Texas, a suspect surrendered shortly after the massacre and was described in the media reports as a 21-year-old white man named Patrick Cruces, who was believed to have posted online a manifesto denouncing a Hispanic invasion of Texas. El Paso, on the border with Mexico, is majority Latino. Over in our sporting report, with their campaign at the 18th Pan American Games now drawing to an end, Jamaica's senior reggae girls head coach Hugh Menzies has already shifted focus to the upcoming CONCACAF Women's Olympic Caribbean qualifiers scheduled to begin next month. The qualifiers are set to run from September 30 to October 8 will see Menzies and his reggae girls team back on home soil for the first time since their historic appearance at the FIFA Women's World Cup in France. And by the looks of it, should have little problem taking care of business as they host Group B, which also features Cuba, St. Lucia, Barbados, and the United States Virgin Islands. Group A, the lone 6-team group, comprises Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Dominican Republic, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, and Aruba, while Haiti, Puerto Rico, Suriname, Dominica, and Grenada will contest Group C. On your local weather forecast, insignificant feature. A weak trough across Jamaica. A high pressure ridge is expected to build across Jamaica on Tuesday before a trough becomes dominant across the central Caribbean on Wednesday. The forecast for this morning will see partly cloudy skies across eastern parishes, mainly sunny elsewhere. During this afternoon, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly across western parishes, tonight becoming fair. Maximum temperature expected for Kingston as well as Montego Bay today is 33 degrees Celsius. That was BOJTV's trending news, your top local, regional and international stories as well as sports report and weather forecast. Until next time, I'm Carla. Thanks for watching.